Good evening, everyone. It's Wednesday night and time for another Facebook Live. If this is your first time joining me, welcome. If you found me later on YouTube, welcome. You will find my channel on YouTube has both paper crafting and cross stitching. I do go live every Wednesday on Facebook for my paper crafting. The cross stitching, I'm not as regular on that, but I need to do another one. Hey, Nancy, welcome. All right, I'm going to get this shared with the group so that we can make sure everybody can find it. This time I put my video or my laptop over on a little cart next to me so I don't have to keep reaching over trying to find it. So we'll see if this works better. All right. Oh, I think Patience is here too. Hey, Patience. Good to have you both with me tonight. I don't know if you all have played with this set. I know Nancy did last night because we played with it at the team meeting last night. But it is one of my favorites. And it's easy to make pretty cards with it. All right, I'm just getting this shared. And then we will... Oh, it's different. No, you never know. Facebook keeps changing stuff on you and you got to figure it out. We're getting there. There. All right. Okay, I think it's shared. All right, so now I'll see if I can see comments. Okay, we will get started. So this card I made as a thank you for everyone that came to my technique class last week. And this is a note card, so it's a smaller size. But tonight I thought we would make a full-size card. So we'll see if we like the smaller one or the full-size one better. So one of the things I'm using, it's these basic decorative masks. And so there are 4 in this package. This is the one we're using. It's, I don't know, it looks like leaves to me. I don't know what it's supposed to be. Let me see if I can get the others out for you. They're all fun. So there's the leaf one that we're going to use tonight. There's trees. So that's a fun one. There's polka dots. And then this, I don't know what you call this one. I used this a lot last year with Halloween. I really liked it. So those 4, I think it's either $6 or $7 for the 4 of them. But like I said, we're going to use this leaf one. So I'm going to take this is crumb cake cardstock, and I will have a blog post. After I get done tonight, I'll get a blog post out there that will have all the dimensions for what we're doing. So I'm just taking some washi tape, and I'm going to lay this down. So I've made sure I laid my cardstock down straight, you know, lined up with some of these, and then I can line this up with that so I know it will be straight. And then I'm just going to put a little washi on this to help hold it, and then I'll hold my cardstock underneath. I'll get another little piece if I can for the bottom. You know, when you're in a hurry, there we go. You know how it is when you're on camera. Nothing ever works like you want it to. All right, I'm going to put it over here because I don't want it to go over my cardstock. Because I don't want to miss out on... I guess I should have shown you the stamp set in case you didn't see it before. This is Beautiful Autumn is the stamp set. It's got gorgeous paper, and at the end I'll show you the cards that we made last night, and you can see some of the paper there and the ribbon that comes with it. The paper is absolutely beautiful. I ended up not using any on this card, but last night we did use several of the papers. So I have my crumb cake ink, and this is just a makeup brush. And I found when I did this before that I needed to just kind of stay in one area. I was going all over the place, and then it wasn't getting as dark as I wanted. So just rub in one place, and because I don't have it taped all around, I can lift it up and see if I'm getting enough. So you just keep going over it, and it doesn't have to be real dark, and it doesn't matter if parts of it are darker than the others. It just makes it have more texture. So I'm going to go over the whole thing, and it doesn't take long. And I'm just kind of holding my cardstock underneath so that it stays in place. And then these masks are real easy to clean up. You just take them to the sink or take a baby wipe and just wash them off. They wash off very easily. And if you have, I haven't played with the embossing paste for a long time, but if you have some of that, you can use that with these masks, and that's fun. I may have to do that. And you can color the embossing paste with your re-inkers. All right, that's probably about good. Do a little bit more over here. It looks a little lighter. Like I said, it doesn't have to all be uniform. You just want to make sure you don't move your cardstock. All right, let's see how this is looking. Yeah, that'll be fine. And I'll just set that aside and I can clean it up later. So then what I did, just again to give it a little more interest, is I took a circle punch. And for this one I used I think it's the 1.5 that we still have. But since it's a bigger one, I thought I would use the 2-inch circle punch. So I'm just going to put it in just down in this lower right corner and just punch out of the middle of that. And then we'll put that back in with dimensionals. But we're going to set that aside for now because we need to make some leaves and our sentiment. So I have, and I'm doing very vanilla. On this one I wouldn't have to because I'm not using any of the Designer Series paper. Hey, Betty. But I like it with the crumb cake. So we're using very vanilla. And I'm going to use the sentiment I'm using tonight. This mini thanks, because this was on such a small card, I used this from the Itty Bitty Greetings. But this one I'm going to use the Hey There from this set. Because it's a small one and it'll still fit on a little strip like that. So I have my early espresso. And we're just going to stamp. And actually, you know, I think last time I'm going to do this. Will be a little easier. I've got the Pick a Label, I think it's called, punch. Sometimes it's easier to see from the back side. I love this punch. So I'm just going to stick my little strip in there. And then I'm going to turn it over so that I can make sure it's straight on the other side, because sometimes it gets just a little bit off. All right, that looks good. That way I know where to do my sentiment. And obviously we don't need this long of a strip, but it's easier to cut it down afterwards. So I'm going to do the Hey There right in the middle of that. Yeah, that's not too crooked. And that's all we need the early espresso ink for. And then I'm going to just take my snips and I'm just going to trim this off here. And then I'll, I didn't bring the other punch over. We have a new punch. I should have brought it over. That will do these little dovetails on the end on little pieces like this. But I didn't think to bring that over. So I'll just do it with my scissors. And if you hear noise in the background, it's one of my cats trying to get food out of his container. His food won't drop until 8, but he seems to be hungry now, so he scratches on the container trying to get some to come out. So you may be hearing that in the background. Okay, so there's our sentiment. So we'll set that aside. Now we're ready to make some leaves. And I just have a scrap of Very Vanilla. And I did, let's do I'm calling them oak leaves. They are this leaf. To me, that's an oak leaf. And so what I'm going to do, I've got crushed curry. And I'm going to make 2 of these. So I'm going to stamp the outline first, full strength. So I'll do 2 of those. And I'm just going to stamp that off a little bit so I don't get ink all over me turning it over. And then I'm going to do the inside, but I'm going to stamp off once first. And then we'll see if I can line that up. So then it's not as dark. So then you can still see the veins from the first one. All right, so we have 2 oak leaves. Then we're going to do some maple leaves. And I'm going to do 2 of those in crushed curry, and I'm going to do the same thing here. So I'm going to do the outside, the outline. Yes, Patience, it is an auto cat feeder. We had to do that because they would come wake us up at like 3 o'clock in the morning wanting to eat. And it does come in very handy when we go out of town. All right, so 2 Cajun Crays, full strength. Stamp that off just so I don't make a complete mess of my hands. And then stamp off and stamp the inside. Stamp off. All right. And then we're going to do 1, and I didn't bring my chamois, but we're going to a darker color, so it'll be fine. I'll just kind of stamp this a lot so I make sure I get the ink off. And so I'm going to do 1 Mary Merlot. Same thing. And I should use this color more. It's really pretty. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay. That is all of our stamping. Yes, it does kind of mess them up. Patients, they're looking for food before or after. Whenever the time changes, it's a little weird. You're right. Okay. And the best part about this, we have punches for these. So let me turn them over. That seems to be easier to see because otherwise it glares too much. So you have an oak leaf, a maple leaf, and an acorn. And you'll see some cards that we did last night that use the acorn. So let's punch our leaves. So we'll punch our oak leaf. It's always harder to line up on camera. And they pop. So you got to watch where they go because they will pop out of here. But it just makes it so easy to make really pretty. Okay, that's all the oak leaves. Now we're ready for some maple leaves. Well, there we go. And I did these in an odd number too, like I would do with rhinestones or pearls or something. Yeah, I really need to use this Mary Merlot more. It is a pretty color. Okay. Now we have all our leaves. I think we can get rid of this now. So we have all our leaves and our card and our sentiment and our circle. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put this crumb cake. This is on a piece of early espresso. And I'm going to use, this is my Stampin' Seal Plus. And I'm going to use it once I get it going. There we go. And just put some on each side. And I'm going to go ahead and put that on the early espresso. Like I said, all the measurements will be on my blog a little bit later tonight. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and put this on my card base before I start building up all the pieces. That'll just make it easier when it's still flat like this. So take my bone folder, get that creased. And then the early espresso is the same size as my card base. So just kind of line it up. All right. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pop this up. So I have the last bits of this dimensional sheet. You know, use every bit of it. Don't waste any of those dimensionals. But now I've used them all, I can throw that away. All right, so we're going to put this. Oh, I'm going to have to still get something because I forgot to bring my green glue over here. And you want to line this up so that it goes back in the way it was stenciled. And you're not going to, I mean, you're going to be putting these leaves and stuff over it, so if it's not perfect, you still won't see it. But hang on just a minute. I need to get my green glue. You know it's not a Facebook Live unless I forget something. All right. I'm trying to remember. I think I did. And what I'm going to do is just kind of lay it out first so I have an idea of how I want to do it. And because we're doing this on a bigger one, then we'll probably see a little more of the, I think I had this one underneath, of the circle itself, which is fine. And then this, and then these last two, I just kind of put on top of it. Okay, so I kind of know where I want everything now. So I'm going to just take a little bit of green glue, or Tombow liquid glue is the official name. Oh, that's a little more than I need. And so if you get too much, I just take another piece and just pick up some of it. So we're going to put one crushed curry up here. And I do want to make sure that they'll kind of hide behind my one down here, my sentiment. Well, he kind of made a mess, didn't he? There we go. And then we'll do one of our Cajun Craze maple leaves. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my sentiment on because I want to put the other two leaves kind of on top. I'm just going to hold that for a minute, let all that get stuck together. And then we'll do another one up here. I just liked having some on top of the sentiment and some underneath. And then our Mary Merlot, because it's so pretty, he can go down here. And then the last step is I just took a piece of linen thread and I just tied a bow. And I used linen thread on that other one because it was such a small card. I might be able to get away with something else on this one or a double. Oh, I wonder if I have enough to do a double. Let's see. This was like the end of the spool or the end of the card of it. I bet I do. I can do a double one since I've got a bigger card. Let's see. So I just doubled that, and now I'm going to tie a bow, hopefully. Get it whatever size you want. I don't want it to be too big because I don't want it to just overtake all of the pretty leaves that we did. There we go. And then you just take your scissors and just trim the ends. And this one. Try and make them similar sizes. Oh yeah, that'll work. And then you just take a glue dot. Yes, Nancy, you are going to have to get this set. And the paper too is just, like you saw last night, just beautiful. And the fact that it's punches, it's really easy to use. You don't have to have another machine or anything. All right, we're just going to put that, oops, let me fold that up a little bit more so it's not showing underneath. You can just fold your glue dots up if they're a little too big. We'll just put that right there. And there you go. So here's my miniature version that I made with the note cards, and then this is our full-size version. And so don't forget, if you comment on this video, It might be Friday night, it might be Saturday morning. At some point, I will draw for somebody to get this card. Anybody that watches and comments on the video. So let me show you what we made last night in our team meeting with this set. Sorry, that was a little close. So this is some of that paper. And then this is another one of the sentiments. Thank you, buddy. And this is some of the ribbon that goes with this. It's woven something. It's mint macaron. And then this is from the In Good Taste Designer Series paper, which is fabulous because it goes with so many things. But I just made this with the layering ovals, stamped just a maple leaf on there and the sentiment. So that was an easy one to do. This one is showing a lot of this paper, and I hope you can see yeah, it's got metallics in it. See, these are not those striped, but these bottom two and this one have metallics. They're just so pretty. And there's the acorn that we stamped and then punched out with the other punch. And this, I was showing the ladies last night, that layout is from a different card in the holiday catalog. I'll have to show you. Because I liked the layout so much, I thought, oh, I want to try this. So there's a stamp set called Banner Year, and this was the punch I should have used for the end of my sentiment. But I just liked the way that looked. And I thought, well, I'm going to try that with this paper. And so that's what I came up with. I really liked that one too. And then this one is also pretty much copied from the catalog. I changed a couple of things on it, but the layout, I'm just finding that page real quick. So if you're stuck, just get out your catalog and look at it. So that is this one right here. So it's just 3 different, and I may have used different papers than they did. And instead of having everybody fussy cut out of this paper, I just used the sprig punch and punched it out of the brushed metallic. Isn't that pretty? I just love this paper. And then this one, we used the gold hoops that go with that Forever Greenery set. So again, leaves, and there's that Mary Merlot again. This is the other ribbon that comes with this whole suite. It's a coppery, I don't remember what it's called, but this gold ring and this gold leaf came from the Forever Greenery suite. And so I thought, well, that would be fun to kind of make a little wreath with the fall stuff. So that was one. So those were the 4 that they made as a part of the team meeting. We always have make and takes that they get to make at the team meeting. And then we have some business, but we have fun. And so this is the one that I demoed to them. So it's using some more of the paper. This is that brushed coppery, or I think it's more the coppery one. And I ran it through the embossing folder that goes with the Forever Greenery. And then acorn and some leaves. So on these leaves, I stamped the outline in Early Espresso and the inside in Mint Macaron. I really like the way that turned out. I might have to try that with the crushed curry too, some of the other colors. So I really like the way that turned out. And then this acorn has a crushed curry top to it, just because it had this kind of coppery paper on there. So that was the other one that I made to show them, demonstrated last night. So there are a bunch of ideas with this set. Like I said, this paper is just absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if I can even get all of these in the picture. But it's really a fun set. So stay tuned for my blog post. It'll have the dimensions for this and links to the products that I used for this. And I'll probably, no, I don't think it does have the link for the paper, but that paper is absolutely gorgeous. All right, I think that is, oh no, I was going to show you some more swaps. I forgot. So this week on Facebook, I have been showing swaps that I received. We had, so the team that I belong to, the Pretties team, we do swaps every month. And this, in August, this month, we had 20 people do the swaps. And what's been really fun, this is a positive from COVID, so you look for it where you can. we've been just mailing our swaps to everyone. So we have a list of everybody that participated, and you make your swaps and then you send them to them in the mail. So every day when you go to the mailbox, it's a surprise. What am I going to get today? What cards am I going to get today? So I've been sharing some of my swaps on Facebook, but I thought I would share some because I had, in August, I can't remember if I just said this or not, we had 20 people. So we had a ton. So what I thought I would do is I've been sharing some on Facebook, but I thought I would share a few more tonight because I had so many I couldn't get them all on Facebook. So this one is from Dana Hobby, and I don't know if I can get it to show up. This is an embossing folder that's dandelion, and she went over it with, I think it was Wink of Stella, she said. Maybe I don't know. But it's really sparkly, and I don't think it's showing up on camera as pretty as it is in person. And then this is, I used this set one time on Facebook Live, but I've forgotten the name of it right now. But I don't have this embossing folder, but isn't that beautiful? I love that. And this one is from Judy Chapman. And this is yeah, that I think is from the Peony set. This is from the Forever Greenery, and this is from one that we had, I think we had it over Celebration, or it carried over from the occasions. But anyway, isn't that pretty? And then she used the brick embossing folder. This one is from Virginia Porta, and this, I love this. You know, I love butterflies. Isn't that fun? And it's a little fun fold. And look how she made the antennas right there. Isn't that cute? So that when it's closed, you see the antennas. I just love that. Of course, I love butterflies. So, and this one was from Allison Gillespie. And I've forgotten the name of this set. I don't have it either. But look at this coloring she did. That's just beautiful. And the hedgehog, just gorgeous. And then this is from my friend Patience. She's on with us tonight. Isn't that pretty? This is some more of that paper. And look at the coloring she does. Beautiful. And there's some more of that copper ribbon. So pretty. So like I said, I had so many swaps. I had to show you some tonight too. And then I've got some more that will go up on Facebook tomorrow and Friday. So that will get, I think, almost all of them. I may have to put some more out there Saturday or something so you can see them all. Okay, I think that is it now. I will finish up here and get this all posted to my blog so you can find all the details there. Thank you for joining me, ladies. Good night.